All right, so it's the end of the school year, and if you've been using Google Classroom or the G Suite, your Google Drive might have a lot of stuff going on. So I'm going to walk you through a couple steps that you could do to kind of clean up your Google Drive at the end of the year and then also kind of get ready for the next school year. So first things first, if you've been using Google Classroom, hopefully you kind of know by now that there is a folder in your Google Drive that says Classroom. It's right here. So if I click on this folder, it brings me up into all my classes. So all your classes you've made will have a folder in there. And then so it would also have to be a class that you assign something in, so made a post in, but all your those will be there, and then any other things that you might have put in that folder would be there as well. So if you're trying to get ready for the next school year and you've cleaned up your classroom already, you might want to clean up your drive and clean up this classroom folder. Just kind of show you what's in these folders. You click on them. So here's like all of the assignments I have in this folder in this class. If I click on another one, and so here's all the students that kind of shared something with me. There's a lot of stuff there. The best way to kind of just get this all cleared up is to make a new folder inside your classroom folder. So again, you don't want to take anything out of this classroom folder, because if you're going to be reusing materials from these old classes in your classes next year, you want to keep them in here. But to kind of get it out of the way so it doesn't look like there's so much in here, if I'm inside my classroom folder, I'm going to hit New up here at the top left and Folder. And then I'm just going to title this 2016-2017 school year. I'm going to hit Create. And here's my folder. You can see there's a little guy inside this folder. That means this folder is being shared because it's inside my classroom folder, and my classroom folder is shared with other people based on my classes in Google Classroom. So if you kind of think of it, it's always kind of like a hierarchy, like whatever, if it's a folder with inside a folder, that outside folder that contains it, it's going to take on the sharing permissions of that folder. So now I'm just going to grab these classes. I'm going to click one, hold down Shift, and select them all. Then I'm going to pick them up by clicking on them, drag. You can see I have a little 4 button. Drag where this is highlighted, let go. And it's going to tell me that I'm moving these items. Are you sure you want to do this? Okay. And there they are. Now, if I go back over to my Google Classroom, I'll still be able to get to those classes, get to those archive groups and things like that, because I'm still in my classroom folder. So I haven't lost those things at all. I can still see them. So as far as cleaning up that classroom folder, I would just highlight everything from the school year, drag it into 2016-2017 school year, and drop it in there. Now, back out to my regular drive. If I have other resources, like here's a lot of resources I created, and a lot of them are the same thing, that I want to, let's say I have a bunch of resources from the 2016-2017 school year. Again, I can get to those. If I use that resource in a post from this past school year in Google Classroom, I can still get to it by just going through Google Classroom. But let's say I just want a place for all these things to live. Again, I can hit New up here, Folder, put in this one, 16, 17, resources. And you can do it by class if you want to do it like by classes or however you would make more sense to you. But if I want to grab like these right here, again, just click, Shift, grab, and drop. And there they are. So if I want to clean up all my resources, I could put them into folders like that. For if I wanted to color code it, if you're someone who likes to color code and things like that. So let's say I wanted all my 16, 17 stuff to be a color. If I click on that folder here in my drive and I go up to the 3 dots up here in the right corner-ish, I can click it and go down and change color. And if I want to change this to red, I'll hit red. And now that folder is red. So if you want to go another step and kind of color code things, you can do that as well. Other things you could do, so if you have certain files or resources or things that you use a lot of, and you want to put them in a folder and kind of bury them in a folder, but you want to be able to get back to them quickly. For instance, let's say this practice 1 is something I want to be able to get to quickly and not have to search for, but I do want to kind of put it into a folder. I can always click on it here, highlight it. I can go to my 3 dots and hit add star. And now there's a star on it. So if I'm ever in my drive or I'm searching through my drive when I go to put something in Google Classroom and I need to find that quickly, I can hit starred over here on the left. And now there's my starred files. So these would be files you use a lot and you don't want to have to go search for them. So you star it and there it is. Now I can grab this, drop it in 1617 resources, hit OK, it's gone. But if I hit starred, still there. So basically the easiest way to kind of clean up your drive, just kind of in a physical sense, you just got to make some folders, start putting things in folders. Make sure you name those folders, things so you know this is 1617 resources. You can color code them. Clean up that classroom folder by putting all your classes in a folder within it. And then just kind of, it takes a while, but it's like anything else where you have to kind of clean up at the end of the year.